wine, kick my feet up when I get tired. And as I recline, take another sip, let my thoughts unwind. Sipping and spilling it. Sipping and spilling the tea. Sipping and spilling it.
What is poppin', everyone?
What's poppin'?
How you niggas doing?
I'm feeling beautiful, honestly. Like, I just feel like the sun's out. I love it when I have pastels on. Mm-hmm. You know, your girl's highlighting this highlighting. I feel fucking amazing.
All right.
How do you feel?
I feel like I'm living my life like it's golden.
Okay.
I feel like...
You definitely got a lot of glitter on you, and you got the gold under here.
Right.
You was definitely... I wasn't a compliment earlier, but you know, a lot was going on, but the compliment is coming now. Yes. Directly from my eyes. Hold my hand. Oh, you can't. Well, bitch, you look good.
Thank you. You know, living my life like it's golden. Living my life like it's golden. That's how I'm feeling. You know, every time we've been talking about this, like this podcast hasn't been happening smoothly as the other seasons. Like, again, today I left my card.
Yeah.
You know, something else happened. And honestly, I've never left my card.
Yeah, it's like usually like we leave glasses or we leave like, you know, but yeah, cards. Yeah, never. I think that's more important than the glass in my opinion.
Exactly. So for something that big to happen, I'm just, you know what? I'm gonna just charge this again. This is another
go and glow. And we always say that when there's so much opposition, that means that in the transition
there's something about to happen
to us.
Okay.
So let's get into my motherfucking story time, aka PSA, which I was gonna tell y'all, like she told it ain't been smooth. It ain't been butter. But you know what? But the stories are still storying. So we here with you right now live. So everyone that knows me knows I work at Crew, X1Z. And when you tend to work outside as a cocktail waitress, sometimes you accumulate regulars throughout the time. Anyone that knows what regulars are, people that come regularly to see you. Not that hard to fucking understand. So there was a period of time, like within the last, month or so, where my regular wasn't as regular because he used to always come every Tuesday. And so something transpired that I don't want to disclose, was not my business to tell, but he wasn't coming for a while. And he just randomly popped up on, I think it was like a Saturday or a Thursday when I was working.
Can we talk about how this man had already screwed us over once before?
You know what? And we're going to get into that after the fact of,
because talking about this man like,
but he's my regular and I'm going to stick beside him.
Okay.
Until I don't.
All right.
So he came into my job and he disclosed to me that he was going through a lot of stuff, business-wise, personal-wise, X, Y, and Z. He just has a lot on his mind. He's just not feeling well. And I'm like, okay, you want to talk about it? X, Y, and Z. And he was just like, you know what? I really don't want to talk about it. I'm just really sad. So when someone's sad, you thinking that they, just going to calm down. The man popped a whole fucking 1942 bottle when it was just him. So the drinks are flowing. He's out here giving shots to girls. I have a whole full-blown section of all women in there. Okay. And I'm just like, passing up. I make sure he's good. So I come and sit down by him. I'm talking to him for a little bit. And then it's like getting towards the end of the night. And he's all like, yeah, I'm just so sad. I mean, he's like, I just want to go home and talk. I was like, oh, I feel that. And he was like, no, I want you to come home with me so we can talk. And I was like, I'm not going home with you. And then he was like, why not? And I said, because if you want to talk, we can go to dinner or we can go to lunch. Right. Like we can go in public. I don't have to go to your house at 2 o'clock in the morning to talk. So then he just looks at me and he was like, I'm done with you. And I was like, I said, are you? He's like, yeah, I'm done with you. I said, okay. So then I went upstairs, got my stuff, X, Y, and Z. I come downstairs and anyone that knows at the end of the night, they turn on the lights. But since he's a regular, they let him like linger around sometimes like a fuck. So he was lingering around and he started talking to all the my coworkers and he was talking to everyone but me. And then when he left, he said goodbye to everyone but me. He walks out. Calling, blowing up my phone. Next day, he calling me, texting me saying, hey, babe, how are you doing? X, Y, and Z.
I thought you were done with me.
And that's what I was saying. I was like, and that's what I thought you were done. And that's the thing. I even texted him. I said, what you said to me was very disrespectful, but I said, I respect it. And I ain't texted him to get back after that.
Yeah.
So he's been calling, texting, X, Y, and Z. And I was also, my PSA goes to all that going to show. You can't make someone jealous that don't want you. So him doing all that extra shit behind the scenes, I would have probably took him a little dry disrespect with saying he done with me. But you trying to make me jealous with people that you can't make me jealous with is crazy to me. Because it's like,
I didn't know pussy was a cure to sadness. I thought whenever you were sad, you want to, talk about
Pussy
it.
is a cure to sadness. You remember when I tried to give my pussy to Michael B. Jordan when him and Lori broke up?
Well, I don't think so, because niggas be like, I want to talk about my feelings. Pussy don't cure shit. Like,
Okay, so, but he gonna talk himself into some pussy, because what we talking about at 2 o'clock in the morning, baby?
Well, of course he wanted some pussy, but him using the sadness to get the pussy is what I'm talking about, because that nigga wasn't really sad. If he really sad, I'm sorry. No sad niggas popping a 1942 bottle.
Hello.
When I'm sad, I'm not spending no motherfucking
When I'm
money.
sad, I'm actually going inside.
Yeah.
My pockets are hurting
not
real
really
bad.
sad. He's using the sadness. He's trying to get some sympathy pussy. And I don't respect a nigga who's trying to get some sympathy pussy.
He an old nigga. What you expect?
Sir, you talking about I'm sad, I need some pussy. Huh?
But you know who ain't sad? The girls. And guess what?
The girls are back at it again, another messy ass episode of Sip and Spill, where we create conversations. Oh, wow.
Sipping wine.
I go by the name of Thug motherfucking Sammy.
And I'm ambitious international superstar Teray.
What?
I had to let them know I'm an international superstar. It's not local anymore. Like, I decided that I'm an international superstar, so that's what it means. Internationally.
Well, yeah, what international country are you now?
Mexico.
What?
Mexico.
Niggas know you in Mexico?
I've been there enough, they better.
Okay.
Shit, I'm trying to go there next month, y'all. So if y'all trying to slide, let a nigga know.
All
So,
right,
let's get some highs and lows.
Highs and motherfucking lows. My high today is that I got my nails done.
Back on the dark
okay?
side,
I
bitch.
think I'm black, baby. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I love it. My little nail man, because I can't say nail lady. What do you call it? My nail boy?
Is it still Tony?
My nail gentleman? No, it's not Tony. I left Tony because he got a girlfriend. He got a girlfriend on me, girl. So I had to leave him.
How dare he? Okay.
I thought we were in a whole relationship, but when he showed me a picture of this bitch, I said, "Nigga, I'm your girlfriend." Like,
Girl, shut the fuck up.
But no, actually, what happened was he went to Vietnam for a while, and then
Okay.
by the time he came back, I found him.
Okay, that's a real story. Okay, that's the real story. Okay, what's the lows of the week?
My low is that my light bill is $155.
That's
a month.
expensive.
Yes, because one, my shit got disconnected, and I've never got my lights disconnected before, so I didn't know there was a disconnection fee.
And a
reconnection fee.
girl.
I said disconnection fee, and so I think I'm gonna call them and just cry and just be
As
like,
you should. You know what?
yeah.
I'm really good for saying, let me talk to the manager. Who can I talk to? Who can? Because I'm going through every motherfucking person until y'all give me what I want.
So I'm definitely calling my energy company tomorrow and asking them to take this fee off, because I've never. It was an accident. Can I get one time for the one time?
Sometimes one time fucking up is all you need.
So they could disconnect bitch lights quick. And speaking of disconnecting bitches lights, girl, tell me why my lights was off at 4 o'clock in the morning. And next thing you know, I heard this crazy ass sound. So I was already scared because I thought this white man was following me. So I was already antsy. And I woke up and my fucking robot was going around. And
I'm
my fucking lights,
crying.
You know my little lights that I bought for us to do our TikToks and shit?
Yeah.
Fucking was on the ground and my robots was pushing the thing around. So I thought there was a man in my house. It was my fucking robot.
When did a man have any time to get in your house, though? That's the real question. When did this man have time?
When you high, you just think the craziest thing. So I really thought this man was in the house. Happened to be my fucking vacuum cleaner trying to attack my fucking lights. And I hated the fact that my apartment people didn't even like acknowledge the fact that our lights was off for hours. Y'all not gonna email us and say something?
You said that you have a bad fucking what are they called? Management. So are you shocked?
I am shocked because they've been good. That was my old apartment that had bad management.
So my highs and lows of the week. So we're going to start with my lows because then it's going to lead to my highs.
Okay.
So my lows was that I got into a 5-car collision. That was the craziest, most intense situation I went through in a matter of hours because there was a lot of scary shit in the background that was going on. I'm not even going to disclose because I'm going to be giving away a lot of information. But that was a very big low because
losing your car is a huge
devastating. It's like,
oh my God.
Not everyone can jump back from that. But you know what? That's what makes it to my high. My jump back is I already got pre-approved with Navy Federal for some funding for an auto loan. So now a bitch is just out here shopping around. And the thing is, no, the reason why I keep saying, y'all be really careful. I keep telling Samantha this all the time. Be very careful what you ask for and be very intentional what you say, because I've been aggressively speaking to the universe and saying I wanted a new car. I just didn't think a car crash was going to be the reason why I got a new car. Mm-hmm. So That's that. You want to get into some wine facts? So what?
You see how to get it one way, especially the way you wanted it. You got it with the way without paying some extra money.
Well, I mean, I don't know yet because my insurance trying to act crazy right now. So might have to tussle a little bit, but we gonna get it through. So you want to get into some motherfucking wine facts? So we can get into some motherfucking tea time.
Tea time. Okay, so the wine facts is one. I thought
we've had this before. We absolutely have. Yes. I've brought it.
Damn.
See, I feel like you don't pay attention to when I bring wine. I feel like you only pay attention when you bring wine.
Girl, how long ago did you bring this wine?
It was at least 2 or so seasons ago, but we need we still need to refresh them on something new, girl.
Well, bitch, I brought it back. Well, how much did you pay for it? Because this was a pretty penny.
Really? I only paid like $14.
Okay, so when I got this wine, I thought it was gonna be a lot less than what it was.
Because it's a twisty.
Yeah, and honestly, I went to Randall's and got it. Maybe that's why it was so expensive.
That's probably why. Randall's is expensive for no reason.
Yeah, so it told me it was going to be $14. This wine ended up being $21.
Absolutely fucking not.
So I was like, what the fuck am I buying for $21? So you better cost like, you better
taste like this pussy about to be fucking, about to go to Pound Town. Strong Pound Town.
$21 on some damn wine. But I feel like I couldn't take it back because I was already there.
Mm-hmm. Where my nigga, he just took a bitch down.
This is a Merlot. It's from Washington State. It's a 2020 bottle. It has 13.5% alcohol content in it. We don't really do Merlots a lot, but
I love me a Merlot though.
I'm gonna try it. I'm more of a Pinot Noir type bitch, but
I'm a Merho. That's what we're gonna call it, a Merho.
We're gonna try this Merlot. It's called the Velvet Devil. Okay, I'm feeling. Look, with my little upside down cross on my ring, my nail. I'm feeling Velvet Devil.
Antichrist. All right. So while you're pouring that, do you want me to get into some tea time?
Sure, go ahead.
So we get into the motherfucking tea.
Wait. Let's taste the wine.
Oh, taste the wine. Okay. I just really like these new wine glasses.
I love this new wine.
I like that they're square.
And I love that I can pour a big ass gulp and I don't have to refresh us.
Cheers to another messy ass episode. Wow. That's nasty. That's really nasty.
It's okay. It's light.
Like, you know how many times we always be talking about communion wine? Like, that's actually the definition of communion wine. I feel like we just toss that word around like friends, but that's actually communion wine.
It's just light, I want to say. It's light. I don't see a problem with it, though. It's just light.
Okay.
Let's
get some motherfucking tea time.
Tea time.
Shall I start or you start?
Go ahead.
So, Freddie Gibbs, why you out here in these streets over here planning fucking babies with bitches and then not taking care of them and thinking that they about to get an abortion and they really gonna follow through on it? So we gonna get into the story because I had to address him first because I took it very personally. Even though
and I took that personally.
I do because we always, like we said, we always tell women choose better.
Right.
So fast forward, let's backtrack a little bit. I don't remember her name. What was it? The Fit Mommy? What was her actual name though? Okay, her Instagram name is Fit Mommy, and her and Freddie Gibbs were dating for I think a year and a half, maybe a little bit more.
Can I tell you?
I'm gonna say honestly, we weren't very too hip on it because this was supposed to be something for 2 weeks ago.
Honestly, not only that, it's Fred Gibbs. He's not a celebrity that we really care much about.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a rapper.
Oh, okay, exactly. Wouldn't even fucking know.
He's a rapper that, he's always talking about shit niggas too.
Oh, okay. So, backstory, he's with this woman and they are very public.
She does porn.
Yeah, but they're a very public relationship though. They're not like a secret relationship.
Yeah.
And while they were dating, they had conversations about wanting to plan for a pregnancy and build a family together, a family unit, X, Y, and Z.
He can't wait to raise a child
with her. Yeah.
He wants them to play baseball. He wants to buy a house, to raise a family. He was making very deliberate plans on this imaginary family with her.
The dream was sold.
And he was calling her a bitch. She was calling him a bitch. The relationship was just very weird. But he made it very clear that he wanted to start a family with her. And to me, we already know you can never believe in what a nigga say, only what a nigga does. And when he was telling her this, he didn't know that she was actually pregnant. and he has other children with different women, and he went in to go see his he was with his other family, and that's when she decided to tell him she was pregnant, which I feel like that's kind of weird. Why did you tell him in person when he's with you? Why did you wait till he was with his other family to tell him you were
Well, because bitch, he's like, you leaving our family to go to that family.
You got a family over here. No, I'm just saying, like, maybe tell him whenever he's with you in front of your face. But anyways, so she told him, and he was being distant, you know. Next thing you know, it was like, I got so much on my mind. I'm not sure how to deal with this. I'm not sure if I'm ready for this. It went from I want to have a family to I'm not sure if I'm ready for this within a span of
I want to say a few weeks or months, but either
months.
fucking way, like you're never really prepared for a child until a child really comes. And if you already have previous children, you have to get over that hump of saying I don't know if I'm ready
for a child. Then why are you speaking about how you want a family?
Yeah,
you're talking about how you want to raise this child and the sports that you want to raise this child to do. That is some planning.
That's very intentional.
Very intentional. So you can't go from planning all this to talking about names to I'm not sure if I'm ready for a child. You know, the thing is about y'all is y'all say things that y'all don't even have to say. And
unprovoked.
When y'all don't go through with it, y'all wonder why we're so disappointed. But why is it that y'all have these empty promises and y'all say all these things that y'all have no plan on doing?
Yeah.
He knew that he had no plan on having a baby with her. He was never going to start a family with her. He just wanted to say what she wanted to hear.
So yeah, but fast forward, she told him she was going to get an abortion. She did not get an abortion. She kept the pregnancy. And now I guess he's not responding to her text messages.
The fact that she told him she was going to get an abortion and he didn't even check on her to see if she went through with it or see if she was okay. She hasn't. She said
it's like the equivalent to telling a nigga you about to take a plan B and not actually taking it.
Right. But okay, if a nigga don't check up on me after a plan B, I'm not going to be hurt. But if
I will, because then I might be with child, and it's gonna be yours.
Be hurt if a nigga didn't check up on you after a plan B?
Yes, because if you bought the plan B and not trying, because I remember,
bitch, what does a plan B do to you that nigga gotta check up on you on?
It starts your period early. You gotta see if that shit dropped.
Not always. I've took a plan B.
I was gonna say, because I remember one time when I was fun noodling with somebody and he bought my plan B. He literally was on the phone with me while I took it. He FaceTimed me. He said, let me see you put it in your mouth. And I said,
he said, take that motherfucking plan B.
It was really because he was still playing house with his fucking his girlfriend / ex-girlfriend that I had to remember, that was the one that Natalie told you about, that you told me about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, niggas ain't shit.
Niggas ain't shit.
But yeah, so he didn't check up on her after she got the plan B. So I mean,
abortion.
Abortion. I feel like that's fucked up. You know, you didn't even ask if she went through it. You didn't even ask if she was okay. Because honestly, not only are you affected emotionally, I feel like you're also affected physically when you get an abortion.
Absolutely.
So, baby, check on your bitch, especially the bitch that you're planning his family with. Come on, nigga, check on your bitch. But look, you didn't check on your bitch. The bitch still got your baby. So now you're going to have to go on child support.
And period. And guess who else still fucking planning the baby? And they actually kept that shit too. Judy and the brat. It's so crazy seeing the brat pregnant.
Honestly, seeing a stud pregnant is
it's so scary to me. It's like,
because I'm shocking.
Because you a little ass boy. Why are you getting pregnant?
Well, I don't know. Maybe she want to experience it. No,
maybe because you know sometimes
have feminine qualities.
They have a vagina. What else feminine about them?
Yeah, they have
studs
qualities.
do everything in their power to show that they're not feminine. So you getting pregnant is so confusing to us.
It's confusing to me, but I don't know the brat personally, so she could be more feminine than I know of. I don't know her personally.
I don't know her personally either, but I'm just saying, maybe I also think it might be because of her age, because, you know, sometimes when people are older, like, I don't know, maybe Judy's younger than her, so maybe if they do plan...
Judy's younger than her.
So if they do plan on having kids, they want to do 1 and 1 each. I don't know. I don't know their business. But while we talking about their business, while we're already here and landed at this motherfucking plane, let's talk about how they went to the sperm bank, and the child that they chose was a white baby sperm.
Yeah.
And when they were asked about why they chose this specific sperm, they said that because the black men that were in the sperm bank were actually limited, and the ones that were there looked like Jiminy Cricket.
Well, one of them was like Jiminy Cricket. Honestly, I didn't even know who Jiminy Cricket was. I had to Google it.
Girl, I know you did. But you got to see how, like I told you, it's a big ass insult when you see who the fuck Jiminy Cricket is. Like, that comment could have went, this is how I feel. So
what if you did look like Jiminy Cricket, though?
Okay, but this is how I feel. Celebrities need to stop letting us into the fourth wall. If you chose a white baby sperm, that's okay. Stand on it. Don't say I chose this because a black option looked like a fucking slave owner.
Jiminy Cricket did not look like a slave owner.
I mean, shit. He owned Pinocchio.
He was an animal.
He was a cricket. He was inside Pinocchio. He wanted to be a real boy.
Slave owners like crickets.
Bitch, I don't know.
So no, I did not see it like that. When I saw when I saw her say that, I feel like the insult wasn't necessary. But she does have a real point. The problem is there is a huge lack of black men who are sperm donors. Most sperm donors are white males. So because there's a huge deficit of black guys who do it, their options are limited. And there might be some white.
You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking if there were more black sperm donors, they would allow abortion.
If there were more black people having babies, abortions would be free. But
you got to think about it. Most black men are the direct fathers, not the sperm donor fathers. So what's the problem?
The problem is the white hoes aren't having enough babies.
It's because we're probably...
That's the problem. They need more white children. And white women are declining on having children, and black women tend to be poor, and poor people have more babies.
Yeah, because they can't afford not to have babies.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I mean, most abortions are from college age, college educated women, so who have the money to get them. But yeah, so I see what she was trying to say. You didn't have to assault a man to say it, but yeah, the baby's gonna have a white daddy, and that's just the problem with donating sperm. But how did old girl get a black daddy? How did they do it? Remember those two lesbians who got that daddy that's black? That's a finesse 2 times. Is that the daddy?
I do not know.
It's a rapper that's the daddy.
I do not know. When did this happen?
It's just 2 black lesbians.
You can't bring up a story like I would know. Like I just
it's some hood shit.
I won't say I don't know black.
But they did it the hood way. I think they fucked him. I don't think they did it the insemination way. I think they had to.
Isn't insemination still fucking though?
No.
Interesting.
What?
Okay, so let's go to more pressing matters because honestly, sometimes Ami thinks she knows everything, but it's clear that she absolutely doesn't. So let's talk about our favorite rich auntie, Chelsea Handler.
That's your favorite rich auntie?
Well, one of my favorite, absolutely.
Okay.
No, honestly, because I feel like anyone...
I like me some Chelsea. I like she be questioning white people, making them feel bad for their
Exactly.
white privilege.
So there was a guy who made a video and pretty much said that women are increasingly like not having children and not... It was a white man and he was saying they're not having this and they're unhappy and they're not living their life and they're this... He's like, a woman... Actually, he pretty much said that a woman's only... reason for being on this earth is for a child.
Right.
Like they were doing in Bridgerton. Y'all, I never knew that niggas have been feeling like this way since 1960, 80, 88.
Yeah, women are just here to
Only
breed.
to breed. And it's so sad to think that women have so much to offer outside of just a breeding tool that even from like centuries ago, we literally constantly see how men have used us as a vessel outside of the actual humans.
Property. We were property of men. So,
and that's I'm saying so when he was saying all those things, Chelsea Handler was just saying, "Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm a 40-plus-year-old. I'm single. I'm traveling the world. I'm successful. I have money." And I was just that makes me got money. And that's what me and Samantha were like, you know what? We need to do this motherfucking episode. That's what got us to top of the conversation. Rich auntie.
The rich auntie. And we both kind of, I want to say relate to the rich auntie, even though we see it from 2 different perspectives. But we both feel like we embody the rich auntie aesthetics.
So we've seen some stats. What are these motherfucking stats that we were talking about?
Yes. So back in the 1970s, there were only 38 million unmarried Americans. And that kind of seems kind of high.
That does.
38 million people.
38 million?
Yeah. So after that, next time they checked, it was 2019. The number increased to 118 unmarried Americans. So from 1970 was 38 million. 2019 was 118 million. But wait, we jump again. Only from 2019 to 2021, there is 122 million unmarried Americans. And that is closer to half. So that means 48.2% of Americans are unmarried. And we are part of that.
We are absolutely part of that.
Women. Yeah.
So I don't know. So we were also always talking about like, why are we spoon-fed being marriage? And I feel like the reason why I personally think we were spoon-fed marriage because people do not think that women can take care of themselves without a man. And I think that is why we've been spoon-fed marriage. Like, it's good for you. You want to reproduce. You want these things. Like, I was told that I was wanting these things without even asking how I felt about, living with someone. Because even now at my grown-ass age, like, I literally feel that certain things are unnecessary unless it is someone that I'm going to be with for a while. And
it's crazy how we've seen that we are spoon-fed some things that we don't even want. Because just in the Queen Charlotte, when Lady Lamberry's husband died,
yeah, they wanted her to get remarried.
I know who I am. I was told I wanted this. I was told I like this food.
Yeah.
I was told this was my favorite food. So it's like
she had to relearn herself after marriage because literally
from the time she was 3 years old, she was spoon-fed that these were all the things that
she wanted
to be married to this man. And the fact that even though this show is supposed to be something that's so long ago and it's still
so relevant, it's relevant
happening right now, it's just how the stronghold of marriage is.
And that thing is because people try to put this like veil on marriage like it is like the best thing in the world. And like I keep saying, there's nothing wrong with being married. But the thing is, there is so much that goes into it. And a lot of people that are married, it took a lot of work for them to even be happy where they're at. And people are not even married. People that are married sometimes are not even happy until their 5th, 6th year.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, it's work.
It is work.
And I feel like it's okay when that's your story. If you're not married, I feel like that's your success story. But the thing is, stop trying to force us to make us believe that it's just this magical thing.
And it's easy.
It's not. But I respect married people who let you know that this is not something that you would do with just anyone.
Absolutely.
Make sure you choose your partner wisely because this is hard. And I appreciate that because that's the truth. Even though I want to be married one day. And I know it's working all that on all those things, but it's like it's okay when you have a partner who's also equally in that with you, and you don't have that. It's where a lot of us see that and we're like,
yeah. Honestly, I feel like it's okay to be scared. It's okay to want to be married. And it's okay not to be married. But I feel like what you need to understand is figure out what you want and not have someone tell you what you want.
Yeah. So I think the reason why we are spoon-fed marriage is we live in a patriarchal society. So we live in a society where we want to service men. And we all know marriage servicemen. So we're like, okay, we have to teach our daughters how to be of service to their husbands. Because I was talking to someone and I was telling him how, I don't like how the dynamic changes when you get married. And he was like, well, that's just how it's supposed to be. So in his mind, how it's supposed to be is women are at service to their husbands. And I feel like that's why we're so force-fed is because even women, we know women who practice patriarchy. Even sometimes we catch ourselves practicing patriarchy and misogyny. So because it's so easily practiced, it's more spoon-fed to us to be at service. Because no one really talks about the service men do to their wives. It's the service women do to their husbands.
But that's what I'm saying. We always, and I feel like this is not even the first time we said it.
Yeah.
We are taught to be wives. They are not taught to be husbands.
Yeah.
So with that being said, like people can say they mirror their parents, but if your dad is not a good husband, but he's a good father, what are you being taught?
Yeah.
So there was a video that we saw that was on TikTok, and this man made a declaration. It was pretty profound. No, it wasn't, because we all know what the fuck it was. He was pretty much saying that the leading reason why most people get divorces is because women get married for a union, but they tend to find out that it's not a union. It is the woman still doing equally all of the things that she would do prior to marriage, but now her husband is taking more of a back seat to all the things she's doing.
She's doing all the things
that she was doing prior, plus more,
and paying half the bill.
And now there's kids on top of that.
Yeah.
And one thing about it, two things for sure. I've never wanted to be a housewife, nor did I ever have that ideal in my head. But for me to get married and have to do more work than I was doing as a girlfriend, I'm okay with just being a girlfriend, if that's the case.
Do you think men have to do more work when they get married?
Absolutely. They don't even have to do that much for work when it's their boyfriend. Let's be real. Yeah. Like, respectfully, I love my boyfriend. He's a great human. But I'm just saying, like, he doesn't do anything more that makes him, like, husband material.
Yeah.
Women, we have to step into those toes of like cooking more or like, folding clothes. Like, we have to show those tendencies of like what we can provide for you.
Yeah.
Men never show you that they can provide more for you other than monetary reasons. And we always say that. So I'm like, it's not we're saying like a good new idea, but it's just saying this is literally what he was saying. He said women are going into these marriages thinking it's going to be a union when it's literally just them doing more work with a title.
Yeah. And that's why so many women are the ones who are initiating divorce. They're like, well, does marriage benefit men since women are always divorcing them? And they're like, why don't you ever, on my micro thing is, why don't you ever ask the why? Why do you think, as a woman, who most of us women, we don't want to live on our own. We do not.
We do not want to have to do everything by ourselves. We don't
want to. So why is it that we're choosing to rather do it on our own than to have a man? Let's focus on the why and not who's initiating the divorce.
So what do you feel like a rich auntie means to you?
Okay, me, I always pictured the rich auntie was single. Because, when I was growing up, I had an auntie. Her name was Defanaya. And I always saw the negative things about her from what was told to me. They're like, oh, she's a spinster. Oh, she doesn't have a husband. Oh, she's always traveling. Like, what is there out there for her that's not taking care of the family? And so when I thought of a rich auntie, I thought of her because she was always giving us money. She was always traveling. She was always doing her own thing, and she never had a man. And I was always told that was a bad thing. Like, everything about her was bad. Like, she was a taboo type shit, because it's not good for a woman to be alone in this world without a man guiding her and controlling her.
And that's why we're force-fed
her,
They literally, they think we cannot take care of ourselves outside of men. Yeah. That's why we're force-fed marriage, girl.
She's like, oh, for her to be outside of the house by herself. What? And I'm thinking, like, now that I'm a woman outside the house by myself, I'm like, what is so bad about a woman being outside the house by herself? Why can't we be outside the house? So, yeah, that's definitely what my image of a rich auntie is her. She was that rich auntie. And now that I'm older, I'm like, I appreciate her. And I'm going to call her up and tell her that, like, you were a pioneer, because people were talking down on you for what you were doing. And you never changed up, because till this day, she's still unmarried, single, traveling, doing what the fuck she want to do.
So I'm going to, honestly, I'm going to grab on that. I'm going to expand on that. For me, a rich auntie is abundance and independency. Mm-hmm. When I say that, is because you don't have to rely on a man, nor do you need a man. And I don't want to get into that whole thing like, oh, they don't want a man, they don't need a man. I absolutely will love to rely on a man. If my life led me to relying on a man, I have no problem doing that. Yeah. But when I say abundance and independence, it's because with or without a man, you can make a movement. So it's just like, for example, me in my car crash, even if I didn't have a boyfriend that could, navigate me with things, I would have the tools, the knowledge, and the understanding to do those things. And I would have the finances to do those things. And when I say the independence, I'm thinking about not having a child. To be a rich auntie, I do feel like I don't, yes and no. I feel like you don't have to have to be a rich auntie doesn't have children. Doesn't have children.
You don't have children.
Because I just feel like, I'm not saying they hold you back, but I'm not saying that children help you into the goals of when you are.
I think children definitely hold you back. I feel like you definitely could still accomplish stuff with
Absolutely.
children.
Yes, you can.
But it's 100%
harder.
Hold you back a little bit.
It's harder.
Yeah, it's harder. It's 100% harder with children.
But I just feel like it shows people a different level of you. That's why I feel like some people do opt for that opinion. But for me, I just think that when you are the rich auntie, you have the responsibility of living within your own and being your own. Because for example, yesterday, I took my mother to get a massage. She's 50 years old and she's never got a massage professionally. And the entire time, all she's talking about is, oh my God, this is so expensive. This is so that. And I say, Mom, you know why I'm able to afford these kind of luxuries? She said, why? I said, I don't have kids. She said, oh, I know, but I want a grandchild. And I'm like, girl, you got 4. But you got 4. You got 4. And that's why I'm saying, like, my mom has been...
She want a grandchild from you.
But the thing is, my mom has been trying to tell me to have children way before my mom is more focused on me having a child than she is more focused on me getting married. And that's the problem within itself. I'm like, I'm okay with you wanting me to live my legacy on. Because, like, people always try to make you feel so scared. Like, who's going to take care of you? Like, I promise you, the way that my life has been aligned and how heavily I'm protected by the universe, it sounds crazy to y'all, but it makes so much sense to me because I've been proven, I've seen, and I have a praying mother. There's nothing that I cannot overcome because of the life experience that I've had. So when you keep saying having a child to take care of you, it sounds crazy to me. Like, I'm not having a child just for the sake of like, I've seen too many things on fucking Instagram and or TikTok about teenagers over here spending $2,000 of their fucking parents' money to get shit for their kids are fucking ungrateful. And I was an ungrateful child. So it's like, I know that's not something I want to deal with because I don't have the patience. I don't have the love. I don't have, but I can be a bonus parent. I can be a bonus parent all fucking day. But being an actual parent, just...
So let's talk about the rebranding of the Rich Auntie. Like I said earlier before, I had this aunt that she was very heavily talked down on. And now that I'm older, I see the importance of her existence. And now that we are older, we've seen like a shift on the whole, you know, being the single spinster, because it was always like, honestly, growing up, I would have been terrified to be single at 30.
Oh my God, yes.
I'd have been terrified.
Oh my God, yes.
To not have children and to be single at 30. That was a huge, like, oh, I have to be married by the time I'm 25.
Literally.
Yeah.
Even if you know you didn't want that. Even though you were scared to not have that.
Right. So there's this whole shift on where we no longer feel guilt of that. We no longer feel bad about that. And we actually, I don't want to say strive, but we care more of being respected, of being loved, than being in a relationship. So not that we strive to be single. I don't think there's a strive for it.
I don't, because I don't want to be single, so I don't strive for it.
There's not a strive for it, but there's more of a, I would rather be single than tolerate what you tolerate.
Because you're not happy.
Because you're not only are you unhappy, it's okay not to be unhappy in your marriage. Because there's going to be periods of time in your marriage you're going to be happy. That's realistic. Michelle Obama keeps telling us every 5 seconds.
It's the same interview, y'all.
It's the same interview. I'm like, why is she pushing this so hard? But every 5 seconds, she want to tell us that how she hated Obama for 10 years. Okay, bitch, you hated your nigga for 10 years. So there's going to be times when you're going to hate your nigga, and that's okay. That's what marriage is about. So we're okay with that part. We're not okay if being slaves and being single mothers in our own marriage. That's the issue. We're not okay with our partners not contributing emotionally, financially, and all these other ways in a relationship. We're not okay with having to do all the work and have to do all the emotional labor of the relationship, which we saw our mothers do. So I feel like the rebranding of it is more of telling women that it's okay. You know, these women are living successful, fulfilled lives, heavy on the fulfilled, because you can live a life and it not be fulfilled. But if you can be single and be fulfilled, it's the bonus.
Absolutely.
And they're showing us that you can be fulfilled and not be with the man.
And I'm going to say, I'm going to tag off of that because I feel like the rebrand is also about putting yourself first.
Yeah.
We always say so much that and I spoke to people about this. I don't want to say specifics, but people have told me that once you take on those personalities of like being a wife or being a girlfriend and being a mom on top of the fact of who you are, it's like sometimes you forget who you were before all those things because it's like now you're living to be a girlfriend or living to be a wife, living to be a mother. And it's like stripping that away and putting the rebranding on rich aunties who only put themselves first. I feel like for me, the rebrand is honestly standing within your truth of like, I am living the best that I can live with the best I can do.
Right.
And I feel like because we're not putting the pressure on ourselves to live up to the standards that seem suitable.
In the past.
Because now the best thing that you can do for your mental health is to be happy.
Yeah.
And the rebranding for the single rich auntie is showing happiness.
You don't want to be an Andrea Yates.
Who's that?
Remember Andrea Yates? She's that white woman that drowned all her kids.
Oh, yeah.
Because her husband kept forcing her to have babies and she didn't want to have them babies. And he kept making her have more babies.
Yeah.
You don't want to, and it's like
you don't be someone that hates your life because you live the life for someone else. Like, don't look at someone else's accomplishments as comparison.
Because someone else wants you to.
Or like I just said, don't use someone else's accomplishment as your comparison. Yeah. Like if that's not what you strive for, don't strive for that. Like if you don't want to be married or have kids, don't let if your circle is doing that, you don't have to be mad at that, but you don't have to want that.
You don't have to.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Your circle is going to accept you regardless of, and if they don't, that's not your circle.
So what are the next stats?
So, with the rise of the rich auntie and the whole rich auntie movement, we found that 44% of adults between 18 and 49, that is a very,
That's a
very
very
large
that's a very range. That's a good high
18
range.
and pretty much damn near 50 said that they don't want kids and they are very unlikely to have kids. And that is a 7% increase from 2018.
So for me, I think that why it's a rise of people not wanting kids, because as someone that watches and sees from someone that doesn't have any, it's just not appealing. Having kids does not seem appealing to me. And I just don't want to sign up for a thankless job. I literally consider being a mother the same as being a teacher.
It's a thankless
It's like,
job.
because you're doing all these things to improve someone and enrich someone and make them into the person that you want them to be. Like I said earlier, I can only imagine how many times when I was a adolescent where I appreciated my mom for who she really is, because it's like, as an adult now, I'm like, damn, my mom never abused me physically, emotionally, but I still am traumatized. From what though? And it's like, because we never recognize our parents as people outside of our parents.
Yeah.
So for me, I keep saying, I can be a fucking amazing fucking bonus parent, but being an actual biological parent and having to parent children in this.
What's the difference between being an amazing bonus parent and being a biological parent?
A biological parent, I feel like it's more risk. And I feel like with being a bonus, it's more of a reward, because people look at their step parents sometimes and be like, oh my God, like you do this for me, you don't have to. I want to do something for a child in spite of me being their mother. Like
I think most kids hate their step parents. I don't see it as, I feel like being a step parent is another thankless job.
Okay, but
especially when you're a woman, because the likelihood of the children living with you, is more than a man. So with you, it's more fun because you are a bonus parent to a man that his children doesn't live with him. But imagine if your children live with you and then the man comes. I feel like it's not a thankless job. I feel like it is a thankless job. It's not a fun thing. It's more of a. I see
it as fun because it's like, because biologically I don't have to.
Parents don't live with you.
Yeah.
I feel like if the kid's parent lived with you, it wouldn't be the same. It would be you parenting.
So you think if the kids lived with me, I would look at it differently? I don't think I would.
I feel like when the kids live with you, you would feel like more of a parent.
I don't feel like I will look at it differently, because I feel like I'm going to welcome them with the same amount of love that I welcome with every, aspect of being. But for me to biologically have kids, I'm thinking about the change it's going to have on my body, on my mental. I feel like me taking care of somebody else's child that is already pretty much grown, because I don't really date someone that has a fresh pussy baby child. Yeah. So I'm like, usually the men that I date, their kids are like 5, 6, 7, 8, like they're of the age of they can understand if either they like you or not. And if you don't like me, that's okay, but it's not going to stop me from trying. But having my own children not like me is crazy. Okay. I feel like for me, that would be harder for me to have children that don't like me than for someone else's children not to like me. Because I'm like, I love you, I love your dad, and I'm going to do everything I can to show you that all I got is love for you.
Yeah.
But if it's my child that I birthed, it's a whole different. It's a whole ballgame.
I see what you're saying, but I feel like it's definitely much easier for us as women to date a man with a kid than it is for a man to date a woman with a kid.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't say it wasn't. So
my thing, I feel like what contributed to the reason why most of us aren't having kids is these niggas are expensive and we can't afford them.
We cannot afford kids.
We can barely afford
for ourselves. Hello.
We are struggling as it is with just us being. So to think of having another human being, and some people do not think of the financial situation when they have children, but most logical people think of being able to afford their kids. And I know I can afford kids. I can afford my lifestyle and afford kids at this moment. Nor do I want to.
Facts.
So with that being, until we become in a place in this economy where people aren't
struggling to survive,
struggling to buy groceries, struggling to pay their student loans back, struggling to pay their credit card debt back, struggling to pay their bills, struggling for everything. We're literally struggling to buy homes. We can't even buy homes no more. So until that happens, we're not having no babies. These niggas are not gonna be here.
So why do you feel like women get such backlash for not wanting kids? Because I feel like men don't get backlash for not wanting kids, but women, we always get backlash.
It's because they expect us to raise children. That's why. They're like, you don't want to raise kids. You don't want to ruin your life. You don't want to change your life for a whole other human being. You don't want to be selfless. You don't want to, no, because he don't got to do none of that.
Yeah.
He gets to still play golf and play basketball and go to work and do all he want to do and be a whole human being outside of his kids, but I don't get to be a human being outside of my kids. So because of the whole dynamic changes that y'all expect out of us, because I don't expect a dynamic change.
Yeah.
When I see a woman that has a child, I don't expect her to change her whole livelihood in her life because she has a child. But because society has this pressure on most women, it's the reason why. That's what's stopping me, because I'm not gonna have to. I don't want to explain to y'all why I don't have my kids on a Saturday.
Hello.
I don't want to explain.
Because people always asking like, "Don't she got kids?"
Yeah, I don't want to explain to y'all why I'm doing brunch with my girls and I'm mimosa drunk, or why I'm in a different country.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna explain that shit to y'all. So it's like, I don't even want to have to worry about the pressure you putting on me.
I think the reason why women get backlash for it is because, like I said earlier, it's like we're only breeding tools. So it's like for us, it's like, how dare you not want kids? Like, you have a uterus. Like, how do you not want kids? And it's like, why would you put so much pressure on one person to continue a legacy? Like, I don't think that men could deal with the same pressures that women have to deal with when it came to having kids. I feel like men, like you said, it's easier for them because they don't have to deal with the when you having kids, when you having this, when you having that. Because literally, men can have kids up until they're fucking 86. Granted, the child might have autism or might have
a baby. He's like 79. He's 80.
Yeah, the child might have like health problems, but people are still congratulating. Yeah, because I know people that be having
people congratulate babies with health problems.
No, people congratulate men that have kids at any fucking age of time. Yeah. Like, because I remember my ex-boyfriend, his dad had kids at like 50-something years old. Ugh. Yeah, he had a 3 and a fucking 2-year-old, and then he had a fucking 30-year-old. Like, he waited, like, and everybody's all like, yeah. And like, he was like talking about, he's like, I was so mad because he was more of a dad for them. And I'm just like, why didn't you tell him to have kids earlier? Did you tell him that he should get married?
Yeah.
Did you tell him these things? Like, I'm like, what you getting mad about? Because it's like, this is what women hear all the time. Women get backlash because that's all y'all see us as. But men don't get backlash because it's like they can have it whenever. Because since we're on a clock, you think that we should have it at a certain time. But I feel like if a woman physically and mentally is not ready to have a child, having a child is a disservice to you. Because she's never going to be the mother that you want her to be.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So what would make you change your mind on the whole having children situation?
I think having a very involved partner would make me change my mind. Because I think that there is nothing greater than having a man just in every aspect of your life helping you enrich, like, your children, your business, your life. And I feel like being a mother takes so much on women that men don't realize how much of it takes out of you. Because I see my sister, and my sister works very fucking hard. My sister has 2 kids. She loves her fucking kids. Like, we were all hanging out, and she was like, looking at her kids. She was like, I love hanging out with both of you so much. I love it. And I said, I would never feel that way. I would never feel that I'm so fulfilled with hanging out with my kids. But some women do enjoy that. Yeah. But I'm saying that
some women do enjoy getting married.
But I'm just saying, for me, the only thing I feel like having an involved partner, but her boyfriend helps with the kids. He washes the dishes. He does. So that helps her enjoy the process.
Yeah.
So, for you.
What was the question?
What make you change your mind?
What would make me change my mind? I'm gonna pick off of what you said. Having an involved partner would make me change my mind, and not as an involved partner how y'all think, because a lot of times the level, what y'all consider an involved dad is not enough for me. You know, that's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
You know, just like the caption I saw today, which was extremely wild. And I put it in my close
friend. I saw it.
And he was like, he said
something about like, if men could do the things that y'all can do.
No. He said, if being a mother was so easy, fathers would do it.
Like, nah, no, thank you. No, thank you.
I do not want the fact that you see me being a mother as such a strong, hard thing to do. That you're like, you know what? She got it. I ain't got to do it. Like,
and I never want you to think that's such a great mother that don't need help. Like, the fuck?
So if the level of being a great father isn't on the level as a mother, I don't want it.
Absolutely.
I do not want that weak ass shit.
So let's get into our little fucking game where we're talking about our favorite rich aunties. We're not going to get into the whys, but y'all going to know the fucking why when we say their fucking names. So the first person I'm going to say, even though she's not single and she got kids, my favorite rich auntie is Gabrielle Union.
She was a rich auntie for a very
long time. And before she decided to have and the thing is, even though she had a surrogate, she's still very much still a mother.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's her child. child.
married.
That's still her
Yeah,
child.
that's their child.
But
It
yeah.
looks just like them.
It looks just like Dwayne Wade. Not her, but Dwayne Wade.
Yeah. My favorite, I feel like she's everyone's favorite because we see her, we're like, yes, we want to be just like her. Tracy Ellis Ross.
Facts.
She is, I feel like she's everyone's
Thrive.
go-to.
I thrive to be like her.
She's so beautiful and she looks great. Her skin is great. She looks happy. Although it's just social media. We don't know her personally.
But she just seems so at peace.
The energy she radiates makes me feel like it's actually what it is.
It's absolutely.
Yeah.
I could not think of another version of Tracy Ellis Ross as she is now.
Mhm.
So for me, my next one is Taraji P. Henson. Like, she has a child,
Yeah.
but she's single, and she is the rich auntie that we all love because let's be fucking she looks fucking great.
Amazing.
Like, I feel like she does her damn thing. She is living. She's vibing. She's. I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first, Lucius, and I believe it.
Mhm.
Like, I'm very honed believe that she is the rich auntie that I need to aspire to be.
My next one is she quiet. I don't really know much about her, but Maya. I feel like Maya gives me such fine ass rich auntie.
She gives me weird auntie vibes because she married herself. So
she gives me fine ass rich auntie vibes. Like, you know what? Like, I want to be so in tune with myself, so in love with myself.
I feel that.
I want to marry myself because I am who I aspire to be. Like, I want a partner like me.
Oh,
that's what she was saying.
I like that.
Like me.
That's a clip right there. I'm making that a fucking clip. Hold up.
I want a partner like me. So yeah, I get it. I get what she married herself. I feel it.
You know what?
She's my inspiration.
You changed my mind, bitch.
My love is like
whoa.
It's like
whoa.
Yes, bitch. I feel it.
So let's get into some motherfucking questions.
Okay.
So my first question is, do you have to be single to be a rich auntie?
Honestly, I thought you did, but you opened my eyes a little bit. You do not have to be single to be a rich auntie, but you can't have kids. I don't consider anyone with kids.
I'll respect that. I respect that because I honestly agree with you. I feel like you have to be within your selfishness of not having a child to be a rich auntie because you're not an auntie no more if you're a mama. Even if you're an auntie and a mama. You can be auntie and a mama, but you're not the rich auntie.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's your question?
Well, you can be a rich mama too.
That's not what we're talking about though. We're talking about aunties.
Aunties. Okay, so since I lost my motherfucking card, let's see. My question is, can't remember what I wrote down, but if you were to have children, how many would you have?
One. Just one.
Just one?
Just one because I'm like, or maybe actually two because I feel like when people only have one child, they obsess over that one child and try to put all their dreams and ambitions in one child. So I would have two just so they can have each other. Mm-hmm. But one just so I could say I did it. You know, I was like, ha ha, joke's on y'all.
Right.
Bitch had kids. My last one is, why do we think that we normalize planning a baby but not a wedding?
I feel like that's very of a Black American culture type thing, because I want to say the African culture, we more normalize the marriage before the baby. In Black American culture, it's very, very normal to see unwed parents. So, honestly, I feel like people lost their faith in marriage.
Honestly.
That's what it is. We feel like we don't need to get married. And honest, you really don't have to get married because when we look at the history of marriage, it never benefited women. We were property. We were an exchange of goods. We were a way to get actually more status or, establish something. So marriage, from what it was never, a
benefiting for women, yeah.
The whole, honeymoon was for them to watch to see if she gets pregnant. People who would actually be in the room to see if you consummated the marriage. That's what the honeymoon was. Yeah. We've changed it over the years, but we talk about what marriage is. It was never a beautiful, nice thing for women. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think that's, yeah.
I think that for me, when it comes to that, I feel that the only reason why I would get married if it benefits me in a way more than me being single.
Yeah, that's the only way if it benefits me more.
Okay, do you have another question?
I do not.
Okay, well, that's okay. We can land our plane right here. Thank y'all for following us on this journey of being the rich, fucking fine aunties that we fucking are.
That we are.
And we will be until we decide to get married and let somebody take us off the market. Because you know what? The streets are motherfucking hot. And guess what? We hot pockets.
If you haven't already, follow the girls on all social networks at the Real Sipppers. Everything's up.
Twitter, which is one.
Give us a 5-star
rating because we're some 5-star bitches.
Ow.
sip wine, wine, wine. Kick my feet up when I get tired. And as I recline, take another sip, let my thoughts unwind, wine. Sipping and spilling it. Sipping and spilling the tea. Sipping and spilling it.